Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night's presentation of this amazing patch called X39. And do thank the person who invited you to join tonight. This will be recorded, so if you have other friends who couldn't make it, we'll have this recorded, and your upline can tell you how to get that as well, the person who invited you. But my name is Ken Burke, and my wife and I, we live in Trinity, Florida. That's in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, and we've been here for quite some time. We raised five amazing children. They're now grown out the door, and four are married, and now we have 10 grandbabies. And today was just a beautiful day. I got to spend time with a handful of them, like seven of them at the Strawberry Festival in Plant City. What an amazing day it was. And all thanks to this patch, we get to enjoy having a lot more energy and vitality and quality of life, a little mental clarity, just to enjoy the best things of life. And so, but once again, do thank the person who invited you tonight to learn more about this patch, this X39 patch that is changing lives around the world. And so tonight, I'm going to share with you a presentation that our team shares, and it's worldwide in 80 countries. And you're going to find yourself being one of three people tonight. Either you'll be what I call a number three, which is someone who, hey, you like what you see, but you want to do a little more research. We totally understand that. Or you may be a number two. Hey, Ken, I like what I see, and I like to learn how I want to get some of these patches for me and my family. Or Ken, I'm a number one. I like what I see. I want to get some patches for me and my family. And I want the go button on this rewarding financial program that I'm going to share with you, offered to those who share it, not sell it. There's a big difference. And so let me go ahead then, without any further ado, and we'll walk into the presentation and go from there. The question is, have you been patched yet? And if you haven't patched, then you know that your cells in your body are being elevated, activated, regenerated, particularly your stem cells. And we love to give credit where credit is due. And it all starts with this gentleman here, David Schmidt. He is the founder and inventor of this amazing patch, and he has over 130 patents to his name. He's a scientist of scientists, and he actually cares for people. And David started 20 years ago with the Navy SEALs. They hired him to figure out a way to keep these folks awake underneath the water in these specialized submarines, 18 to 36 hours naturally. And the good Lord gave David an insight of how to create this type of patch. It's called a photobiomodulation patch. No one in the world has it. And it works off light in the body, but he created two of them together that was an energy patch system. And it worked. It leveraged the fat cells of their body. And eventually this led to the Berkeley swim team finding out about it. And then that led to Michael Phelps discovering it and then wearing it during the Olympics. This is Olympic approved technology. So it's safe for everybody. It's safe for the masses. Under the FDA, we're defined as a wellness patch, which means no side effects. And then we're going to show you here that this is a patented technology by the United States government. So we have something that we can bring to our loved ones, from grandbabies to great grandmothers, and with hope for them that's safe and a blessing, no matter what kind of medication they're on. And I'll talk about that a little bit after. But David Schmidt, once again, we pray for this man every day. We're so thankful for what he's done to change our lives. You're going to see why here in just a little bit. But after he created this energy patch system with these two patches, he from that point on he began to create other patches. And then in 2008, he turned his attention to stem cells. And over a period of 10 years and 80 clinical trials, $4.5 million of research, he figured this patch out, got it patented, then it released it in 2020, and the company shot like a rocket. Because at the time the company was doing about 20 million a year over the 15-year period that had these other patches, maybe through proprietor or through practitioners. But as soon as this thing hit, and think about this thing hit during COVID when the whole world was shutting down. And out in that time frame, family and friends began to wear this patch, began to experience some wonderful things with it, and they began to pick up the phone and tell their family and friends, hey, you need to get on this patch with me, type of thing. And that began to bolster the growth of the company, significant growth. So the company now is slated to potentially hit 1 billion with a B this year, just 5 years out from COVID, from 20 million. It's spectacular. It's the fast growing company in this space in the world. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But that's just why is that? Why is word of mouth spreading without marketing, without advertising, because of just the amazing things that are going on with this patch? Thank you to David Schmidt. So let's look at this technology. Let's look at this patent because this is really, really powerful. I love sharing this with people. And there's a 31-page patent. This thing is patented until 2040. No one in the world has this technology, nor can they. So we have zero competition. But I love looking at here inside this patent here. Look at all these things this thing is doing based on the clinical trials and research. Sorry, as I just blow us up here. It says as a result here down the middle of elevating this copper peptide inside of us, it's going to include the activation of stem cells. It's going to improve energy, elevate antioxidants, reduce inflammation, manage pain, improve stamina, elevate collagen production, improved wound healing. These are all based on clinical trials and studies from one item. I mean, I don't know of anything that does all this. And actually, that's just scratching the surface of what we've experienced. And my wife and I have been on this path for almost 2.5 years. And from what we've seen, it's just spectacular. All right, so let me go on here. So here's the story. In the womb, the very first cell we all were was a stem cell. And that morphed into every cell you and I see. But then you're given a reserve of stem cells for healing, restoration, repair. Now remember, a stem cell, why is a stem cell so pronounced? Why do people want stem cells? Well, because a stem cell can morph into any cell the brain tells it. And you're given a reserve of them throughout your body, from birth. In your brain, your bones, gums, heart, throughout your whole body, you have a reserve of stem cells for restoration and repair and rejuvenation. But guess what? By the time you're 30, age is setting in, and half those stem cells are now dormant. By the time you're 60, over 90% of them are dormant. Until now, thanks to this patch, you can now turn them back on. So the brain can now begin to use them to begin to bring healing and repair to the dynamic of what aging has done. And your heart, brain, bones, your gums, it's just spectacular. And so how is this thing working? Well, it's light therapy, not light from the sun. Sunlight, when it hits our skin, it creates a reaction inside the body that elevates vitamin D, right? Well, this is not different. This is light that comes from inside the body. All of us are walking around emitting infrared light all day long. We emit infrared light all day long. You ever heard of infrared goggles? Yeah. Why they call them infrared goggles? Because we all emit infrared light, because inside the heat coming off of us is a light wave. And that light wave actually has a mathematical frequency to it. And that light wave is bouncing from inside my body to this patch. So it doesn't matter if I'm in the dark, doesn't matter if I have fully clothed, it's coming from inside the body. Matter of fact, this thing will work up to 6 inches off the body. You can put on your clothing, it'll work, because that's how far light is emitting off our bodies. But what's happening is that this has a patented form of microscopic crystals from salt and sugars from organic plants that are arranged in such a way, almost like a mirror, to create a reflection. So when that light hits it, it creates another signal. And in concert, it basically accumulates and elevates this thing called a GHK2 copper peptide. And you have to remember that. But it's elevating this peptide. And when that happens, what the brain does, it recognizes that and says, oh, I get that. Now I'm going to start turning on all your dormant stem cells. How did David figure this out? It had to be God. I mean, this is fascinating, right? So it's using light to reflect, to activate. Nothing's going into the body. I'm not injecting my own stem cells back into me. People do that. They'll extract their, blood, spit it, and re-inject their stem cells, or they'll have someone else's stem cells from umbilical cords, or go overseas, worse yet, and have stem cells injected. No, this is not like that. This is your own stem cells being turned back on. And so there's no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants. It's not invasive. And here's the most amazing thing. This thing we're not claiming this is healing anything, because you're going to hear some crazy, amazing testimonies. But your body heals. You cut yourself, the brain goes into gear. What does it do? It begins to heal. So this just puts your body in a state to begin to bring optimized healing and repair and restoration like never before, and it's fascinating. So here's what you can expect from clinical trials and studies, and this is what we've seen, and you shall see also is that you're going to get stronger. We had a young 25-year-old girl we shared the patch with, and within 2 weeks, she was on a weightlifting team. She started to basically we call PR every one of her strength heights, and so it's pretty amazing as she got stronger. Reduce inflammation. Anything with the word itis behind it? Well, guess where that comes from? It comes from inflammation, and then increase stamina. Could you use more of that? Do you travel? Do you just start to get tired, you get older? Would you like to be able to just feel like you got more energy, go a lot further, walk a lot farther? My wife and I like to travel. We're in Europe. There's a ton of stairs we go into Greece and Croatia and other Italy. It's amazing. You got to do some walking, and you want to be on the patch. Energy, vitality, mental clarity. For myself, I ran an 18-man advertising company up till just 6 months ago, and thanks to this opportunity, we pretty much put that up for sale. But I was under a ton of stress, and because I couldn't find good sales reps, so I had to continue to hustle sales and run my company. A lot of pressure over 10 years. And my stress on that went from like here to here, which is like 85% dropped in about 2.5 weeks, and really never came back. I have stress today. Yeah, nothing like I used to. So now I have this precious gift. It's called living in the present. I had no idea what living in the present was because I was always thinking about 4 or 5 different things. Even if I was talking with a Zoom right now, I'd be thinking about 4 or 5 different things. And usually I was thinking about, okay, I'm making payroll next week, right? We got to make sure we got all these things checked in the company. Because you who are business owners, you understand the buck stops with you, and your business kind of always owed you. You never really owed it. And it's kind of, you got to make sure it's happening. So, well, just picture if you're like that, you're stressed, having that stress come way down, and now you have new mental clarity, the ability to prioritize, to be less stressed. You can be more effective in communicating with your team, with your employees, be less stressed when you come over to talk to your spouse. And I didn't realize how much of an angry person I was until now. I realized, my gosh, I just don't find myself with all the little things that would trigger me before because I was just stressed. I don't like I'm not like that. And what a blessing it is for my marriage. My wife and I, we've been married for 33 years, right? And I said it earlier, but back just a couple weeks ago, 2/22/92 at 2 o'clock. So, and I'm telling you, thanks to the patch, it's better. Our marriage is even better because we're less stressed. Restore muscle skeletal condition. I had one of my clients, an advertising client, was Parkwood Dental down in Bradenton, Florida. And they called me up and said, "You're not going to believe this, Ken. We had somebody who came in and we couldn't put a post on their jaw because it was too brittle, but they came back 8 weeks later and their jaw was restructured where we could." And we're like, "What did you do?" The patch. So, think about it. It's logical. If you've had age bringing degradation to the body and there's gaps, and now the brain can send stem cells there to reform new tissue, ligaments, joints, what have you, so be it. Improvement in sleep. Most of us, we are so thankful that we sleep so much better now. I didn't realize how much I did sleep and how well I did sleep until I wore this patch. So it's amazing. And improved skin appearance. My wife, she's with the grandbabies right now. They're out to dinner. But when she's here, she's had more wrinkles here in her décolletage area. And she doesn't. Her hair is thicker, longer, like never before. Plus, she had hot flashes before the patch, 10 to 20 a day. And I remember it was September 9th. It was a Monday, 2022. And she woke up that morning and said, "Ken, I think I only had like 1 or 2 hot flashes the night before, and I feel different." And her hot flashes almost came to a dull roar. I mean, like almost a nothing. And it was just amazing to see that for her. Now, think about this is amazing. We were just listening to a neuropsychologist talking about this graph here. And he was talking about how this 77-year-old woman here, here she's got her brain is inflamed, which means there's inflammation throughout the whole body. And what he was sharing with us is that usually to try to get someone's brain from a more calm state takes months, if not years, to do with all kinds of diet and other things to do. But here we are at 3 weeks. He was completely blown away that in 3 weeks, her brain was at a basic calm state again and sustained thereafter. And I can attest to that. That's what happened for me. Amazing. In the first few days, additionally, of the 18 or so thousand genes that make it who we are, our eye color, our weight, our hair, what have you, 4,000 reset to a younger state. Resveratrol, red wine, got notoriety because it was healthy for it. Why? Because it reset to your genes. This resets 4,000, like in just a matter of hours to days. Within 6 weeks, as I mentioned before, the brain becomes balanced. I love to call this thing a happy patch. If you know, because clinically, people with PTSD and other dynamics, they find themselves in a much calmer state of well-being. And we've had friends going through divorce, and then put the patch on them, and man, it just kind of picks them up again. And here's your collagen is increased. So in 90 days, the collagen in your body begins to refresh. So think about your skin, your hair, your nails becoming more thicker, longer, less gray, skin less wrinkled, fingernails grow out thicker, faster. It's pretty amazing. I have to get my hair cut now, like every 3 weeks, sometimes 2.5 weeks. It used to be 4 to 5. I'll take it. And within 6 months, the cardiovascular reverses age up to about 8 years. And this was amazing. That means about every 8 weeks, depending on your age, your cardiovascular is reducing in age by about 2 years. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans today, right? Cancer #2, and pharmaceutical actually is #3 if you Google it. But so we had a friend of ours who in his early 60s got hit by a car. He was okay, but they took him to the hospital and they did full body scan and said, "Oh, hey, so and so, you have a stretched aorta." And so that was fortuitous that you actually got hit by a car. Okay. So come back in 12 weeks, we're gonna give you bypass surgery. Well, in the meantime, starts wearing the pass for pain management, and it goes back 12 weeks later, and the doc's like, "I can't explain this to you, but your cardiovascular is good now." So, and I've had other folks. I had a woman who had a thickened heart. Never heard of a thickened heart before, but 12 months on the pass, she said that her heart was no longer thick. And I love sharing with my family and friends and listen, let's go bring some hope to people, because if you're a lot of stress, that's stress to your heart. Let's give you some longevity of life potentially. Okay, so how do you wear the patch? It's 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Now, they tested it in 2 different places on the body, behind the back of the neck at one point, and then again below the belly button at another point to get the patent. But you can wear the patch. You see, I have it here anywhere in the body, and you put it on for 12 hours, and after that, you peel it off, throw it away. Wait 12 hours, put a new one on, and rinse and repeat. So put it next to your toothbrush in the morning, slap it on. After dinner, take it off, slow it away, throw it away, and repeat. And it's very important that you drink plenty of water, and particularly water if you put electrolytes in it, like a Celtic salt or a pink Himalayan sea salt. A quarter teaspoon in half a gallon will give you all the trace minerals that your body needs, as well as electrolytes. The body runs on electricity, and so this optimizes the restoration, repair, and healing state that the brain is now bringing the body through thanks to the patch, and it will give you the ability to optimize that too. And you can wear more than one patch. It's not needed, because it's not the patch is bringing what's happening. Once the patch is on you, it's the brain now. It knows it. Now the brain goes to work. So 2 patches is not going to really make a difference. All right. So as you can see here, this is a simple yet profound technology. And so it's fun. My wife and I, we love, like every day, we love sharing this patch. And so I'm going to share with you a testimonial that I grabbed today at the fairground. And so bear with me 1 second here. Let me see if I can pull this up. And let's see, just kind of show you the reality of how easy it is to share this with people. Let's see. Here we go. Bear with me 1 second. Hey guys, it's Ken. I'm here with Brenda.
Hi.
And Brenda had just an amazing fast testimonial. We just passed your line 30 minutes ago. And Brenda, tell us what happened when we passed you after we passed you.
I have cellulitis, I have bone spurs, I have scoliosis, and it took my pain away in 5 minutes.
That's so amazing. So the power of X39. So praise God for that. So it's your heel, right? That was it?
Yeah, my heel was the worst, and it took the pain away, yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
I love it. Yeah. I can't wait to get a hold of you guys and
get some
do it again.
Yeah, awesome.
For my husband, because he takes all kinds of medicine. He don't like, he's got psoriasis, or what's it called when you have diabetes. It's in the foot. Not gout.
I know. My dad had it, and
neuropathy.
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 Yeah.
He has that.
Yeah. Well, this is going to help him big time. Yeah,
yes.
You're going to be so happy.
I appreciate you all.
Alrighty, Brenda. Yeah, blessings.
You too.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So, that was just, we actually passed a handful of people today at the fair and shared this with them. And, a lot of people, you just don't realize how many people are really in pain. Sometimes they don't ever tell you. But you mentioned something, how this could bring some hope to them. It's amazing how they'll open up strangers, So we got her cell number, we text her a link, talking more about this patch. We're going to follow up with her tomorrow and get her signed up. And we had another gentleman that we had this massive Ferris wheel there. He was kind of letting people on it. And he's from South Africa. And we have a team in South Africa now. And he's excited. So we're going to be with him tomorrow, get him signed up. So because his uncle needs patches, he knows he does. He has friends who knows, they're just getting older. And, here's the deal. Everybody in the whole world has stem cells. And as they're getting older, guess what? They're going dormant. So why would you not want to turn it back on if it was safe and effective and could rejuvenate your life again? And why would you not want to share with somebody else? So, this is kind of really so wonderful about this amazing patch. So let me go ahead here and move to the next step of the presentation here and share basically how you can get the patches, how much it costs, and how this company financially rewards those who share it, not sell it. I've never sold a single patch. I have piqued people's curiosity to come take a look, put their eyes and balls on a Zoom like this, or put a patch on them, like you did with Brenda there, and within, we had no idea. She said, "Hey, my pain's gone." I'm like, "What? We just patched you." I mean, it wasn't even less than 5 minutes, and so it's amazing that we see this. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up that that was what we call a one patch wonder. And anywhere from 1 in 5 to 1 in 10 people are a one patch wonder. And so my wife has seen this. So that's why I love patching people, because we don't know who's going to be a one patch wonder. And we tell people it's so important to understand that 90 days is really the standard. At a minimum, you want to give this a run for minimum 90 days, because 97% of those around the world who wear this product for 90 days, 97% statistically see results. Now, I would say 70% of my friends and family, people we share with, they're usually several days to several weeks. But remember, in that 90-day time frame, the collagen in the body is going to refresh. So your skin, hair, nails, you're going to get better, thicker, longer, faster. That's great. In 8 weeks, your cardiovascular be restored to at least a 2-year younger state, depending on your age. In 4 to 6 weeks, the left and right lobe of your brain is balancing. So your sleep, your energy, your focus, is just getting better. And then the anomalies of joint pain, back pain, all kinds of different things going on with you like that begin to dissipate away that 90-day time frame. And so you'll just be going through the grocery store just feeling better. And that's why I tell it's really important that this is not an aspirin. This is stem cell reactivation. And you owe it to yourself to be able to honor the research, the studies, and the miracles we're seeing to get access to that for yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve what this patch can do for you, and your loved ones that you love and care about, they deserve it too. And so, hey, it's a free country. You can do what you want. And thank God for that. Like, no one's calling us to be on this thing tonight. No one's telling me I got to show up to the Zoom tonight. We willingly do this. And because we love sharing this patch, we love seeing the hope and lives change. And hey, we've been blessed financially. I'll share it in a minute. But I'm telling you, I don't care how much money you make. It's nothing compared to when you see lives change. Like one of my wonderful grandbabies, Liliana, was a level 3 on the scale of autism. And that is basically the worst. Nonverbal, non-focused. In February 10th of last year, my son calls me, "Hey, Dad, Liliana's been crying for 4 days straight in her sleep." And he didn't in her sleep also, and it broke my heart. I said, "Hey, we're going to pray in Jesus' name right now that God's going to help her. But then I want you to put that patch on her. And just put it on her back. Put it outside the back of her clothing." Spencer calls me just a few minutes later and says, "Dad, you're not going to believe this, but she stopped crying. She got down. She was kind of smiling." That's after 4 days of nothing. But the next day, she's at her therapist. And therapists are like, "Hey, what's with Elena? How's it now? She's starting to focus." Well, that is consistently improved. Where now she become verbal, said, "Mom." Before, when Liliana came to the home, she wouldn't even look at, if I picked her up, she wouldn't look at me. It wouldn't look at a toy. Well, yeah, she smiles and looks at me now. And to the amazement of her therapist, and then they did a trace, they did like a DNA research, and they can't find really a hint of this thing, this autism in her DNA right now. She's still in the spectrum, but it's way better. And anytime we are able to get this patch on a child on the spectrum, first thing parents will say is, "Hey, my child's focused." So this is way better than any amount of money anybody can pay anybody. And this is where you begin to see this. Like Brenda, a stranger, we were able to give her some relief where nothing in her whole life, drugs, medication, nothing. And I'm not discounting any of that, but I'm just saying, and here we came along to be a blessing to somebody, and it did. It's such a rewarding reality. It's a new dimension of my life I never had before. and I love my advertising company and I was proud of it. I built it, but man, none of that doesn't compare to bringing hope to people you love and care about and people you don't know. But it's written we should love our neighbor as we would ourselves. And I feel I have an opportunity to help people. And so it's amazing. Do all listen? No. Will all wear it? No. But am I going to stop sharing it? Heck no. Why would I not share? So it's pretty amazing. All right, so let me go ahead and finish this presentation here for all of us.
And I put all the contact information, the resources in the chat for everyone, just so you know.
Awesome. So appreciate you, Tab. Okay, so let's move forward here. Now, I'm going to incorporate the pricing of the patch and how the company rewards, because they're both related kind of together. You can simply wear this technology and not share with anybody and get it at a wholesale rate and just wear it. So that's the good news. You can just be basically, I call it a glorified customer. And but what happens with most people, particularly most of us do care about people, right? And particularly people that are closest to you. If your parents are still alive, it's your mom, your dad, or it's a best friend, it's a neighbor that you're close with, it's somebody you work with, what have you. Um, and what happens is once you believe something that changes your life, the first people you're going to call are those people that you used to talk to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that you care about, and they trust you. And if you saw us on Walmart and heard some of the testimonies on social media, what this thing does, you wouldn't believe it. But if your best friend calls you or a relative calls you and say, hey, I found something you need to take a look at, I think you need to get on this along with me, then guess what? Things are going to happen. So here's the deal. None of us want to be a salesman. And so when someone asks me, and I'm a gifted salesman, already, but and by the way, if someone would ask me, hey, kid, why don't you go, let's get into this opportunity to share this patch, and you're a good salesman, why don't you go help us find a bunch of other salesmen? I'm not going to do it because they're hard to come by, and I'm just not going to do that. But this is different. This is word of mouth. Word of mouth is not selling. Word of mouth is someone who isn't going to sell you, but it's just like if they go see a great movie, they go back to the office the next day, they tell everybody about it, and everybody else at the office goes back to watch the movie. Well, they shared it. That was word of mouth. We just help people on our team get good at sharing it. So if they're going to share that movie, they didn't throw up on everybody, spoiler alert everybody. So maybe they didn't want to see the movie. We just help pique their curiosity so that they want to go check the movie out for themselves, spend money to do it. And that's what we do here. And one of the ways to do that is not be the expert on the patch. I'm not David Schmidt. I'm an advertising guy. Don't ask me too much technical. I'm not going to do it. But we have this site here. This is at info.com. It's got the patent, the studies, all the clinical data. It's got videos on there, 3-minute little videos of how this thing works, how light works in the body. Everything is on here. So when someone says, hey, kid, can you tell me more about the patch? I said, sure. Let the experts explain it to you if that's okay with you. And I'll text you a link. Does that sound good to you? Sure. And give me their phone. Boom, like Brenda, let me text you a link on what this is. You can show your husband, what we just patched you with. We'll follow up tomorrow and send it and have him take a look at here. And you can do a deep dive or shallow dive. You can see all that you need to know right here. It's such a gift. That gets the burden off me and you of having to try to sell something, trying to explain something. And when we don't have to do that, what does that do? It frees our time up. The most precious commodity in life. What it also does is it puts us in the position to be duplicatable. Because if I can do something that my next friend can do and it's easy, then the next person can do it too. Now we can make life even better for an opportunity for all. So I think I mentioned earlier that this company is tracking to hit $1 billion this year, right? So it's pretty amazing, from 20 million, some more growth. And this is what's also awesome is that we're part of a team. Now this company's a 20-year-old company. There's other teams who share this product around the world. But our team is only 31 months old. And now it's the fastest growing team in the history of this business. And it's the fastest growing team in the world in any other company, period. We're approaching over 300,000 strong, expected to hit $1 million by year end, right? And so, but as this couple here on the left, you're going to see Steve and Gina Merritt in the black and white. And then David Schmidt, the founder, on the far left. And then Meredith Burke, the CEO, the president of the company. And Meredith has run billion-dollar companies before. This is really good. But they had never seen this kind of growth from an organization just out of the gate. And so back in August of 2023, just a little over a year later, Stephen G. and Barrett, they had an event. Well, you can see how many people showed up. Well, the founder and the CEO said, we're coming to check this out too, because we never seen anything like this before. And what Stephen G. and Barrett did is they came aboard this company and just 30 months ago, and they hit the highest rank in this business in 23 days. It typically took 4 years to do. And they said, we're going to implement a system for everybody to follow so we can help them hit this highest rank too. Well, since then, just 31 months later, what's happened is that now 100 other people have hit the highest rank in this business. My wife and I, in 11 months, thanks to Stephen G. and Barrett, following the system, we hit it too. And we did that while we were still working 50, 60, 70 hours a week or more running our advertising company. No time for a side hustle. But this is different. I call this a belief hustle, because once you believe something, you want to tell people. So during my day, as I was running my company or talking to my clients or my vendors or what have you, family, friends, is, hey, oh, by the way, have you heard about this patch? No, what is it? Stem cell activation patch, bursts off light in the body. It's done this for my family and friends. Is this something you'd like to learn more about for you? Really? Let me send you a link. And I begin to do that. Begin to point their eyeballs on Zooms like this. Begin to patch them. And out of the activity, more people start wearing patches and buying patches and personally want to get their friends to do the same thing. And that eventually, technically in 22 months, retired us and from having word of mouth grow. So, but let me not overwhelm you with that because, but you got a 19-year-old kid in this company who's making 6 figures. You got a grandmother, 81 in Puerto Rico, doing probably almost 7. A 24-year-old out of college making 7 figures. That's $1 million a year for those who don't know. That is not normal. I'm a businessman, but this is the most genius business model I've ever seen. And why is that? Because most people, they're going to try to make a living and they want to do something securely, they'll typically buy a franchise. And what they'll do is they'll leverage their house, they'll get their Uncle John, they get people to pitch in, they got to prove they got so much to put in the bank, or it depends on how big the franchise is. And they're going to have to pony up some money as well. You have to sign the dotted line, sign leases if you got overhead, whether it's a storefront or what have you. It's a lot of commitment. Then you got to hire employees. Then you got to get trained. I mean, it's a lot of work to gain some security to maybe get a piece of the dream. Where this, I don't make the patch. I don't pay everybody. I don't pay, but doing the paying I don't distribute the patches. I don't have a customer service team. None of that. All that's all been done by David Schmidt and the whole company. All I have to do is plug into a system of sharing this, and if other people wear it, then we get a piece of that. And what that does is, I had 18 employees. Now I don't. And my overhead is $199 a month, which is, I'm going to get into this in a minute, $99 for me, $99 for my wife. That's my overhead to make 7 figures. This is mind-blowing. And I hope to some of you business owners I'm speaking to, it's really starting to put the light bulb on to say, really, Ken? Yes, really. And if you're not a business owner, and like I said, you're one of the 3 people tonight, you just looking to do more research, great. Or 2, you want to get some pass. I'm going to show you that in a second. Or 1, you're like, hey, Ken, we can learn more about how I can hit the go button on this rewarded program. And because maybe you may be someone who's maybe frustrated in life. I was concerned, by the way, because I had my advertising company. I was going to sell it prior to COVID, and I could have retired most likely after COVID. Everything changed. The whole advertising industry changed. And now I didn't have the value of my business anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to kind of reinvent it. I don't have that much energy. And I was concerned about, and I was scared about my future, not having retirement, because now if my nest egg of building my company was going to sell it, now I don't have that. Now what do I have? And I wasn't saving because I was always reinvesting the company. And here I'm in my mid-late 50s. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in a position where I don't have runway for another 30 years to try to save enough money to retire, because it was pressing on me. And what this opportunity did, it took the next 20, 30 years of my potential financial work life, it collapsed it down the next 24 months of my life. It set us free. And that's part of our mission for my wife and I, is we're looking for those, and no one has to go in like to that capacity. But if your belief is big, you plug in, there's an opportunity. But we want to help people believe that they actually can dream again. And because I think it was Newsweek came out not too long ago, said over 75% of those who go to work today are not happy with what they do. Well, that means that's a lot of time being spent doing something that is not enjoyable. And I'm sure it doesn't look or smell or taste like what their dreams would be. And we want to help people learn that they can actually potentially dream again. It starts with baby steps, and so we help you take those steps while you're still keeping God, family, and work first. Then this opportunity here, God, family, work, this. And so we like to keep the balance of life so you can be most blessed in life. And this is a belief hustle. It's not a side hustle. And so it's kind of spectacular. I hope that's starting to make a little sense to you there. And these words here, which means more to you? Is it, more time with your family? It's just time for yourself. Freedom. This was me. I wanted freedom to know that I had peace of mind for my future financially, and just flexibility. Like today was Tuesday, and I didn't have to worry about punching talk to a boss and ask for permission or my company dogging me. And I can just go spend time with my grandbabies and my children and enjoy a beautiful day. And as a security, as a travel, better health, you get a patch for that. Less debt. You're still trying to clear debt out of your life. This opportunity has clicked all those boxes. My wife and I are debt free. They're blessed, and we get to do things now. To bless, we just bought 90 acres in Malawi, Africa for an amazing ministry, and we get to do things and that we could never done before, to be able to live a life of more greater fulfillment by doing things that change other people's lives. So we get to help change people's lives by sharing this past with people, bringing hope, like so with Brenda and others. I should have videoed everybody we talked to today. It's just amazing to see their eyes light up. And, but also know that financially we have the ability, to be able to invest, to be able to hopefully make more generational wealth for the future, and charitably give, and obviously pay our taxes, but then live on a smaller portion of that. So this company loves to get trips. A bunch of us are going to be going to Punta Mita here shortly. That's in Mexico. And last year there was Cancun. It was a 9-day cruise, 9-day cruise that we went on to Italy, Greece, Croatia. It was just, Santorini, Mykonos. It was absolutely spectacular, all paid for by the company. 550 of us and then 800 of us were down in Punta Cana, a beautiful 5-star resort, all paid for by the company. This is last year, and Bora Bora was another trip. So the senior elite, they got to these beautiful huts on the water, $1,000 every night, all paid for by the company. This company is top drawer and loves rewarding those who win, and we're helping people win. And so, but here's how it all starts. It all starts with you get excited, and you're going to basically get 2 friends on your left, 2 friends on your right. It's called a binary, means 2, a left team and a right team. And binary by the FTC is a wonderful structure that keeps our company financially sound, and it rewards people who may do better than you that you came in after you, unlike a pyramid, which technically is illegal. This is not a pyramid, or and also usually the person at the top makes all the money and everybody at the bottom wishes they could. No. I have 3 people. We're doing like 7 figures. I have 3 people making more than me. And God bless them. And I think it's spectacular. But it all starts with 2 on your left, 2 on your right. And this is what is such a powerful business model, because this is what I call trust. Like, who are the first 4 people you're going to call? And why are you going to call them? You're going to call them because you really believe this patch is worth sharing with them, because you believe it's going to help them. You're not trying to get in business with them to go make money, but you just know, man, I got something to help turn on our dormant stem cells, and life's going to change for us. Mom, best friend, neighbor across the street. And that's the first 4 people you want to help enroll, and so when you do that, now you've hit this position called manager. I'd like to talk more detail about what that means. You're not going to manage anything, but what that means is it's going to open you up to make up to $1,500 a week. Not then, but it will start that process. And as you begin to help other people hit the same type of structure, well, your friends get excited. Now let's help your friend get 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Then they help their friends get 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and start doing that on both these legs and build both these teams. Well, this creates a team commission that could go to hit the cap of $25,000 a week. And I remember when I heard that, a light bulb went off in my head. I said, because I was under a lot of stress, I said, what's the chance I could get some of that? And, everybody's different, But when you've got from teenagers to grandmothers making amazing, blessed money based on this simplified structure, what an amazing, as a businessman, it's absolutely fascinating to me that this is really word of mouth at its best because it's trust. And so, and it's awesome. So this is how this thing starts. And this goes to $25,000 a week. Well, my wife and I were so blessed. We actually make more than that. And well, how is that? And because of this here, which I'll give a quick snapshot, the company wants to reward you. This is the unlimited portion, no cap. And this is where the company, they want to reward you for bringing on people who are sharing the path to be successful with it. So what happens is, when you enroll a friend, you're going to get 25% as a bonus on top of whatever they're making out of this thing here. Maybe they're making 1,000 a week. Well, you're going to get 250. That person enrolls somebody. Well, the company tracks that back to you. They're going to give you 20% of whoever that person is, what they're making out of here. They're making 1,000 or $200. Or what happens if, and then it's not or, but then, and you have a third generation. If that friend enrolls somebody, you're going to get 20% of that person also, whatever they're making. Well, you're not limited how many people you get to enroll. So you enroll 40 people. Now, really, it's more like you got 120 because you got 40 to 40 to 40. So, that's how that works there. So, but the point is here is that this company is, they take 60% of their revenue. Think about this. And they're going to hit $1 billion this year. They're a debt-free company. They take 60% of that revenue, instead of spending it on social media or Google, they push it back out to me and you for sharing it. And it's a beautiful thing because we're talking about the reality of residual income. And I used to hear that. And but when my wife and I, after 90 days being in this business, we had enrolled a lot of people and we went on a cruise for 2 weeks with Hawaii, Bora Bora. So we were way off. I mean, it was a 4-day jaunt on a ship across the equator. We're in the middle of nowhere, but we came back $2,500 richer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not put my foot on the gas to make that money. And what it did is the dynamic of time just got bought for me. Because while I was enjoying this amazing vacation, my bank account was rising. And I thought, and the light bulb went on for me. And I already made good money with my advertising company. So it really wasn't the quantity of dollars, it was the principle that those dollars came back to me because this is a living, breathing reality of people being excited about getting their family and friends and coworkers on a patch. And as that's happening, once you start sharing left and right on these two teams, you're getting a little piece of that. And as it continues to spread, you're still to get more of that. I thought, this is amazing. I've got to make sure all my kids are in this opportunity. And I'm going to try to get all my friends to get this opportunity too. Because who wouldn't want to be able to, once you believe it, want to bring hope to people? And who wouldn't want, because of inflation, have more additional horsepower in the bank without having to spend more time to go get it? Yes, you invest time in sharing a patch and getting people's eyeballs on a Zoom, but it's different than a side hustle. And I cannot, at this point, punch a time clock enough to make the kind of money we're doing. And so time is being bought for me. I went to took a day today with the family. Well, I came back richer than when I got up in the morning. And so that's what we want for you. Is that something you want for you? Is that something you even believe that even could be a possibility with what we're sharing today? That's what I love about this. We're all willingly volunteers in this army. And so we all are linking arms together, an system that we follow, and no one's requiring us to show up for any of this. We all are willingly partnering together in this amazing opportunity. And so let me kind of scroll down here. And so how this thing starts is right here. Here's the price of the patches. You can for 25. Let's go back here. Let me step up. This is an envelope that has a sleeve. They call a sleeve of patches. And inside this sleeve here is, bear with me here, people, is 30 patches. 30 patches in here. Typically, the retail rate on this is $149, $150 for the month. worth every penny. But why would you want to pay that when you can get it at a wholesale rate for about $99 or less? All right. And so, and you could for just 25 bucks get a membership, good for the year, and then get this for $99 each month, all month to month, never locked in, you know, and it comes with a 30-day back money guarantee. But I tell people, don't even waste your time with that. You need to be on this product for 90 days. This is stem cell reactivation. Do it. You do what you want, but I recommend do that. And if you're going to do that, then why don't you do it cheaper than that? And how do you do that, kid? Well, either buy a 3, 6, or 20 pack one time. And so, and that's what we're looking at here. You have a 3, 6, or 20 pack called the Core Advanced or Premium. And so the Core is $295, the Advanced is $535, the Premium is $1750. My wife and I did the Premium. We'll tell you that in a minute. And so the Core, that's really designed for someone. And by the way, why is it cheaper? Because you waive the $25 fee at all these opportunities here, and so it brings the product down to like 98 and change for the Core, brings it down to $89 and change on the Advanced, and about 87 bucks and change on the Premium. So it's the cheapest way to initially get the product. And those are one-time purchases that are never done again. They do not reoccur. You cannot buy any of these more than one time. That's it. And you actually start at a Core, then upgrade to an Advanced for the difference in price and get the extra sleeves. And the same thing again, you can upgrade to the Premium from either one. Doesn't matter for the difference in price. But once that's done, it's done, because this whole opportunity is really built on either someone staying on a one sleeve monthly maintenance, but usually the reality is two, because usually it's a couple. It's a husband-wife team, or you plus a plus one, or you having 1 + 1 to share. But this whole opportunity relies on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance. It doesn't rely on it. It's just that it's how the business is built. And I think it's fascinating that for me to make 7 figures, all I have to do is purchase 2 of these a month. But I'm going to purchase these 2 of these a month, one for me, one for my wife. Anyways, doesn't matter what I'm making. So I think it's just, there's no quotas or nothing that's required of me to do anything, with this. And so, so be it. And so I think it's pretty amazing. So, but here's one way to look at these 3 kits. So the Core, the 3-pack, that's someone who wants to basically kick the tires and try to try it. The Advanced, that gives you the ability to hit the go button on the comp plan. And the Premium gives you the ability to basically launch. Okay. And I'll explain that in a minute. So with the Core, at least that's one person, there's your 90-day supply, for, about 99, 98 bucks a month. Okay, great. Well, if you're married, what's your spouse going to do? And so if you're going to still try it, you and your spouse for 90 days, get the Advanced, gets it down to $89 a month for each of you. And now you have a good runway, but it also puts you in a position to be able to hit the go button on this comp plan. But the Premium, that's really what's most awesome. They say you're supposed to wear this product 1 month for every 10 years of life. And so if you got a family of several people in the family, you want to get that Premium pack, because now you got enough for each of you, but then you have more to share. And usually I'm not sharing a whole one of these with somebody. What I will do is we enrolled Brenda tomorrow. We were with her. We would front her a 30-day supply. And then when she placed her order on either a 3, 6, or 20 pack, and hers comes in, she'll replace this back to me. But what this did is this gives her the ability to start wearing the product right away before the product comes in 3, 4, 5 days from now. So she may have more miracles before her product hits. And we had this happen to a couple a while back. We signed them at our church afterwards. They bought a 20-pack. It was a Saturday night. I went back to my car, said, "Here, I'm going to front you one now so you can wear it." They put it on. They called the next day. "Ken, you're not going to believe this. We slept through the night." Great. 2 days later, Joe calls me again and said, "Ken, I've seen 4 chiropractors in 10 years. None of them helped me feel this good. We're so excited. We're calling our family and friends." They still hadn't had this in the mailbox yet, but because I fronted them one of these, they got into the belief mode, if you will, and the miracle mode. And then they gave me a whole one back. So I gave them a new one and I got a new one back. They kept the one in front of them. So we call it place and replace. And when you have extra of these, if you want to get this thing started, you want to launch your business, you want to get that Premium pack, it's the cheapest way to get into a business that could typically change your life. And also you're going to get into a system. We're not going to leave you twisted away by yourself. We have a team system that we're all following. We're all saying, doing the same thing. We're all networked together. So we're going to show you what that looks like in a second. And if you don't have the budget, initially these things are super tight, but you still want to get going, then fine, get the 6-pack. one for you, one for your plus one, and then 4 to be in business with and start working on. And then what will happen is your 2 monthly sleep monthly maintenance program will start a month out from then. So at least now you can at least stay on the product every month to be able to get, because each month is just going to get better and better. Beyond that 90 days, life's going to get better for you. This is what we've seen over the past 2.5 years. Because what's happening in the body. So you want to at least get yourself in that mode, and that 2C monthly maintenance does that. And so that's how this thing gets started. And going back here, this thing here with you here at the top, as long as you bought a 6-pack or 20-pack, and your friends went on a 2C monthly maintenance program, and your friends buy a 3-pack or above on a 1C monthly maintenance or above. So you're at a 6-pack or a 20-pack, they're on a 3-pack at a minimum. You're on a 2C monthly maintenance or on a 1C monthly maintenance. That's the criteria for hitting manager. And that's not hard to do, because now you're helping all those people get on a 90-day runway at a minimum. And once they get excited, they're going to upgrade along with you. And once you see the rest of what's happening with our team, and that this is way bigger than just the health of it, because here's the deal: you can be healthy and still be on the rat race of life, trying to accumulate enough money to retire, to pay off debt, to do what's going on with you. Or you can partner with us and accelerate that by changing people's lives, and then it'd be rewarded for it, and be able to maybe potentially, like we did, we collapsed 10, 20, 30 years of our work life into 22 months and set us free. And there's no promises there for you, but we're seeing this potential upside. And so, we're all part of a team. The team is called This Is It. That's actually the name of the team. So we have thisisitteam.com. This is a team Facebook. This is a team YouTube. This is a team school. That's SKOOL. But this is a team. And so that's led by Steve and Gina Merritt. They're the one who implemented the system. And so when you go to thisisitteam.com, that's kind of like the franchise, system, like the manual, if you will, like a bunch of teenagers who run a multi-million-dollar business called McDonald's. Well, they're following a manual. Well, this is kind of our manual, and except it's much easier, digestible, and simple. And so this is team.com. That's what we're part of. And then we have this is at info.com. You saw it earlier. That's what you share. This is at info is different than this is at team. So it is at team.com. And then what I did, because this is at team.com has over several, 100,000 team members, I created a community called Believers for Life. And so, and to make all the things that this team teaches connective and granular. So we didn't reinvent the wheel. We just took what they did and we make it connective. So we do a Sunday night team Zoom. We do a women's Zoom on Wednesdays at noon. That's been growing and blowing up. It's been amazing. A safe place for women to come and hear a presentation and share some of the things they're going through without having to worry about any men being there. It's been awesome. And then we do a Saturday training as well. And then I do a presentation tonight. I also do other ones outside of this. And so, but we don't do it at the same time that this is a team. They also do Zooms too. We never compete. We do it in complement to, so that everybody has fair game to be able to get on all the Zooms that this team is doing, which is done, you'll see right here, is that they're doing 2 Zooms on a Monday night, a Zoom on a Wednesday night. They actually do one on Tuesday at 3 p.m. They'll do another one on Thursday night for Spanish speaking. They do one on Friday at noon. I mean, there's a lot of activity going on that you can point eyeballs to a Zoom. That's what we say. Pique their curiosity, get your family and friends to take a look at this, and let them decide for themselves what they want to do and call you back. And then you just help enroll them. And if you don't know how to do that, you get a hold of us, we show you. But being part of a team, we show you how to do all this so that your time is minimized and your time investment is minimal, but your time is maximized and simplified because you're plugged into the team. Particularly with our Believers for Life team, which is really Believers for Life community, that's part of the This Is It team. So, let me make sure you skip anything. This is something that's really important as we wrap it up here. I got 2 minutes. Is that on the business basis, this business is built from event to event. And when I saw my paycheck go from $1,000 a week to $1,000 a day because of an event like this one coming up in August here called Next Level, is in Orlando. And what happens is, I'm not going to a rah-rah sis boom bah, get all excited 2 months later, you're back to where we were before. No, you go to something like this and you begin to see that 19-year-old or 81-year-old grandmother, people like just like you, who you think, man, maybe I can do better than them. Then you hear nuggets and things you never heard before, and your depth of conviction and commitment gets deeper, and your ability to enroll and share this opportunity gets better, so more people sign up. Well, if you brought 10 friends with you, you just 10x your business, basically, and theoretically. And that's the power of these events. And we do 2 a year. We just had a virtual one in Vegas that was virtual, and some could attend. This one's in person. It's going to sell out quickly, and then it's going to go virtual. It's so powerful to be there in person compared to the virtual. And so that's just another thing we do. But these are all things we are doing to help get equipped for you. So let's going back here. Now it's time to make your move. What you want to do? Are you ready to? Are you a 3? Hey, Ken, I like what I heard, but I want to do more research. Great. Or Ken, I'm a 2. I want to get some pass for me, my family. Maybe I'll get that advanced kit or the 20 pack. Or maybe Ken, I'm single. It's just me. I'll get that core kit. Or you're ready to hit the go button, the comp plan. And if you do, and you take that premium kit, then that's going to optimize your ability, because now you're in the law of abundance. You can't purchase this kit again. Now you got 20 of these things, enough for you and your family, but now you got enough to get started. You're not worried about if you're going to have enough or not, but now you're in the law of abundance. It's like seeds. He who scatters bountifully is going to reap bountifully. He's going to sow sparingly. He's going to reap sparingly. So now you have the ability to be in a bountiful position, and you're going to launch. And we're going to team up with you. And that's what our team does. Our team is always focused on helping brand new people get their next 4 people. We'll do a presentation for them. So it's not all on them, but you'll learn more about that as you get back with the upline who invited you. And so I hope this helps get you started and leaves you with some more questions, because it's hard to capture all this at once. But most of all, I hope you come away realizing that this patch is a game changer, that it's going to change the people that you love and care about the most. It's going to change their life. It's going to change your life. And if you want to link arms with us, we're the fast growing team in the world, because we're following this basic system, and we're helping people get set free financially, helping them get blessed financially, and creating less stress in families' lives. And what a better way to make money. Integrity, the best way to make money is with integrity. What does that mean? That means you matter more than money. So when you call your family and friends, you're not thinking about making money, you're thinking about helping them, but then the money follows. It is a blessing what follows. It's a blessing when you're leading with love, with sincerity, with care in your heart. And now you have hope and a patch to bring to those you love and care about. And then the company is going to reward you financially. It's a great thing. So I hope this helped you for tonight. It's been an honor to be with you tonight. Please get back with the person and let them know which way you'd like to go. And hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you on the next Zoom, and we'll go from there. So good night, everybody, and blessings all.